What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got some more NBA news to, of course, be going over with you guys. This time I wanted to talk about the recent huge mock trade that has kind of been going around the internet right now, which I thought, why not actually discuss this and talk about why I don't actually agree with this. Now, I think this would be more of a trade that was to happen maybe in the off-season or something like that. I think they're hinting at, but also, by the way they're kind of speaking here, it does seem like they think this trade could be a possible thing that goes down on the deadline, and I'm going to talk about why I strongly do not like this trade. This page actually goes on to say that after acquiring Caris LeVert, the Cavs are pushing to acquire Bradley Beal before the deadline this Thursday, which is complete cap. There is no source to say that we would be doing this, which is pretty interesting. But it says Cleveland organization believe they're one superstar away from being legit title contenders. Mate, Cleveland's organization thinks they're title contenders now. They don't think they're a superstar away. And is Bradley Beal a superstar anymore? No, he's just not. And that the other thing is like, no, the Cavaliers just got Caris LeVert. With how the East has been all over the shop this year, the Cavs are one of the most stacked teams, and as soon as they get an injury, they have a player to come in and replace them. I think the Cavaliers will be just fine with the team they have now, although I think this is actually more of an off-season move. Now, what this trade looks like according to them, it includes the Cavaliers receiving Bradley Beal, Kemba Walker, and Mitchell Robinson. So there you go. Kemba Walker is in this deal. That's all it needs to be said. The Wizards receive Colin Sexton, Isaac Okoro, 2022 first round pick, 2024 first round pick. The Knicks, so they're in the trade as well apparently. They received Kyle Kuzma, Spencer Dinwiddie, Montrezl Harrell. First of all, there is no way in hell the Cavaliers would want Kemba Walker. Secondly, they wouldn't. I don't think they'd mind getting Mitchell Robinson, but if they were just to get Mitchell Robinson, there would be legitimately no point of the New York Knicks being in this trade whatsoever. And then again, the Wizards aren't going to give up Kyle Kuzma. I think they love Kuzma on the Wizards team. They'd only give up Kuzma to bring in a star. They're not going to really give up Bradley Beal, I don't think, until he says he wants to go, because they really want to bring in a dude like Sabonis or something like that. And then you look at it like this: Spencer Dinwiddie and Montrezl Harrell. I don't see why the Knicks would even want them. So it just doesn't make any sense for the Knicks to be in this trade whatsoever. So I'm going to look at it like this. This trade is not going to happen it's not going to happen, rather. Every team declines this except maybe the Wizards, because Colin Sexton, Isaac Okoro, and 2 first-round picks are an incredible return for Bradley Beal. But then you also think that they lose Dinwiddie, Kuzma, and Trez, and you're almost just like, well, I think they really want to keep Kuzma, so even they might say no to this. So it's just a little bit stupid, in my opinion. And then if we're looking at it like this, the Knicks probably don't give up enough. Like, they're giving up Kemba and Mitchell Robinson and getting back Kuzma, and Kuzma is worth much more than both of those players now. Same with Montrezl Harrell, is even worth much more than both of those players now. So it's legitimately just stupid, in my opinion. I do believe, though, that Bradley Beal will 100% look at the Cleveland Cavaliers in free agency, and I actually think it'd make a lot of sense for him to go there, considering the Cavaliers are very much not set on Colin Sexton right now, and they're looking to trade Sexton. We do know this, that they, after getting Caris LeVert, it doesn't seem like they're necessarily a really full steam ahead on Colin Sexton, even though I think if they didn't get offered enough for Sexton, they would bring him back in the off-season. And look, he's still going to play backup, I think, if he can return for the playoffs, which is, I still don't think he probably will, but if he can manage to do it, Sexton will probably play that backup point guard position. And then we look at it like this: you think about it, and it's kind of just like, well, with Bradley Beal, I honestly believe he would love to go play in the Cleveland Cavaliers, because it's finally a contending team that is stacked, and I desperately think that it would make a lot of sense for him to go there, because again, you could probably get a deal done that is pretty cheap and means that the Cavaliers don't lose that much. And what a deal I think would look like is a sign and trade of both players. So it'd be a sign and trade of Colin Sexton and a sign and trade of Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal would go to the Cavs, Sexton would go to the Wizards, but because I think Bradley Beal is still quite a bit ahead of what Colin Sexton is, the Wizards would probably get a solid, really solid role player, and like Lamar Stevens, who I think would be great on the Wizards, and would probably get a first round pick and and a lottery protected or something like that. I think it would be protected somehow. So it'd be a first round pick, a protected pick, Colin Sexton and Lamar Stevens, and you're 100% doing that if you're the Wizards, because like, I don't necessarily know if Bradley Beal's value is that high at the moment. I think a lot of people know that. Plus, I think he does want to leave with the Wizards now. And he's like 28 now, 29, so he's actually up there in age. So I definitely feel like, well, if they got offered this deal, they would 100% do it, because Colin Sexton would be their future point guard. Lamar Stevens would probably play like 20 to 25 minutes per game off the bench. Then that first round pick and the protected first round pick are like two probably 20s to 30s, which could definitely help on their rebuild, especially when they decide to blow it up. So again, I think that would make a whole lot of sense for them to actually do this deal. And then I think the Cavaliers automatically, I think they're going to contend this season. I really hope the Cavaliers can push for the finals. It would be really awesome. But dude, adding Bradley Beal and keeping Isaac Okoro would look like Garland at point, Karis LeVert at small forward, Bradley Beal at shooting guard, Evan Mobley at power forward, Jarrett Allen at center, and then off the bench you would have Kevin Love, Lauri Markkanen, Cedi Osman, Isaac Okoro, most likely Rajon Rondo, Dean Wade, Dylan Windler, Brandon Goodwin's probably still going to be there. It'd be an insane, like, 13-man roster. Again, losing Lamar Stevens would hurt a fair bit, but, dude, I'm sure there's some veteran or something in free agency that would really, really want to come in and, you know, kind of help out. And I just think it would make a whole lot of sense for something like this to maybe eventually happen. And the thing is, we actually know that Bradley Beal really does like Darius Garland. We know this. I believe used to train with Garland, and he's one of his favorite, I think, players in the NBA that's not on the Wizards. And I know he's really close with Tatum too, but like, dude, would you rather go to the Boston Celtics right now or the Cleveland Cavaliers? And the obvious decision is the Cavs. And again, if Bradley Beal puts in, you know, some type of defensive input, then I definitely think he would work really well on the Cavs, because the Cavs are extremely system-based. And I think you've got to play some defense if you want to be a Cavalier. It's just how it is. And I think Bradley Beal at 6'3", he has had some really good defensive seasons in the past. I think he would actually really help out this team. Then you look at it like this, the Cavaliers really have everything. They have three really solid shot creators in Darius Garland, Bradley Beal, Karis LeVert, two extremely good defenders who will probably play at like all-star caliber in Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley, then a bunch of really good three-point shooters off the bench in Kevin Love, Lauri Markkanen, and Cedi Osman, and still you got good defenders off the bench in like Isaac Okoro, even Rondo. I guess he's not the best defender anymore, but I'm sure they'd sign some other guy, and they'd probably sign a backup center here and there that's a bit better than like Ed Davis. So Cavaliers could realistically be stacked if they continue going on with all of this. I think it would make a whole lot of sense, and I definitely think, yeah, the Cavaliers are a team to watch out for, especially this year, and if they can get Bradley Beal, they will continue on this way, I would assume. But of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and, you know, tell me your thoughts and opinions on this down below. Do you guys think it would be a good idea, you know, for the Cleveland Cavaliers to go after Bradley Beal? Do you guys think they should just maybe go for one of these trades now? Pretty much it's the same trade that I suggested earlier, but you're swapping out Stevens for Isaac Okoro, which I think helps the Cavaliers long term, because you still keep a really good defensive dude in Isaac Okoro, who could be an absolute beast. He's one of the best defensive young players in the league, and imagine if he got a three-point jump shot. Again, definitely let me know your thoughts and opinions on this down below. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/long channel. Check out my podcast if you haven't already, which I'll be linking in the description down below. But as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.